Reiki Cafe. It is Christine Renee here. I just put out a little question, a post earlier on what's your primary Clair, and the question came up, well, what are the Clairs? I need to know the definitions. And I love this question, and I'm really excited to share this information with you because I feel like when you understand your Clair, you really see it as, this is my spiritual gift. This is what comes through strongly for me. This is my innate spiritual wisdom. And when we understand it, we can give it strength. And when we recognize which ones aren't our primary, we know which ones can be learned to be developed, right? And so it can be really awesome. And so here are the primary, I'm going to go through the 6 main Clairs, okay? So think of it this way, that you have 6 Clairs, and they each go along with your 5 senses plus that, 6th sense, right? So you have Clairseeing, which is clairvoyant. You have Clairaudient, which is clear hearing. You have Clairscent, which is clear smelling. Clairgustance, which is clear taste, and Clairsentient, clear feeling. Okay, so they're the primary 5, and then you have Claircognizant, which is your 6th sense, which is that clear knowing. You just know things like you know things like you know things, right? So let's go through them a little bit. So that Clairaudience is when you receive messages, when you hear things in a spiritual sense. And so when you're offering Reiki, when we're doing Reiki, you're able to hear messages or hear the wings of the bird flying, or like your hearing is just heightened. And so your primary spiritual gift then is very much like getting messages or hearing little pieces or hearing songs, like lines of songs that stand out. So it's very much auditory. Okay. Then you have Clairvoyance, which I feel like we hear all the time. We hear like Clairvoyance, and it's kind of like almost put on a pedestal, like this is the best one, but I don't believe that there is a best one. I think they're all honored. And there's a bunch more, but for the most part, these are the 6 that we really talk about. So Clairvoyance is a clear seeing. So this is when you see spirits. This is when you see visions, when you see symbols, when you see things, whether it's while you're in a meditative state or with your eyes open. Like if you see a spark in the room, or you see that fairy or whatever it is, like that's still clairvoyance. And so when you put clairvoyance and clairaudience together, then you see things and hear things like a movie screen. And I feel like a lot of times those are the 2 that people, when they think about their clairvoyance gifts, like that's what it's supposed to look like. And, as a shamanic Reiki practitioner, I really feel like those are the ones that are primary, get to be developed in your shamanic Reiki training. But at the same time, honoring however it shows up to you. Like I've had a lot of clients where those weren't the 2 primary, but they had Clairscent, where they could smell things. So they knew when they were in that very deep trance meditative state and they smelled cigar smoke, and it reminded them of their father smoking the cigars when they were kids, that his presence was around, right? And so it's totally like, it's all about understanding how they show up for you. So you have your Clairaudience, your Clairvoyance. I think the big one that doesn't get enough credit and is probably the most misunderstood is Clairsentient. So Clairsentient is that clear feeling. And so this is the feelings that you get in the body. Like oftentimes when I'm offering someone Reiki, I can feel in their body where they're having tension, where they're having digestive issues, where they're having pain in the body. I can feel it in my own, and that's Clairsentience. And so, and the same thing with, if I walk into a room, I can feel the energy of the room. That's Clairsentient. I'm feeling something. And so I can feel like if someone just had a fight in a room and I walk into it, even if no one's there, like I feel the energy of the room, that energy is still hanging there. So Clairsentient, I feel like that empathy oftentimes is talked about. Like I'm an empath, I feel into other people's stuff. But once you learn how to use it as a Clair gift, really like learning how to use empathy as a gift. So like, for example, when I'm in a session with somebody, like, and I get a hint that I need to move to their gallbladder because I can feel it in my own gallbladder, it's leading me there for a reason. And then I can, at the end of the session, go, all right, I'm no longer need to be have my gifts heightened. I can, turn the off switch off and then go about my day without feeling into everyone's energy. So it's like learning how to control your dial. Like I want to dial it up when I'm in session, when I'm doing a shamanic session for someone, and when I'm doing shamanic journey work. Like I want to be fully on with my spiritual gifts. But when I'm at the grocery store and I'm talking to the neighbor, like I don't need to be on. I don't want to be on. I don't want to feel into everyone's stuff all of the time. And so it's learning how to control it. And that's really one of the things that we, on all three of these, like when you have all three, the clairvoyance, the clairaudience, and the clairsentience, when those three are like dialed in, like your sessions can be even more magical, it feels like, right? Because you're able to tune into the spirits, the messages, the feelings, you can sense where and how the chakras are flowing, all of those things. And so it can be really amazing and really guided to know where to work with your clients on that. So we have those three clairs. And then the two clairs that don't get a lot of attention, and honestly, they're not as common, is the Clairscent, so the clear smelling, and the Clairgustance, and that's the clear tasting. And so usually find those two with people who that's their world. So like they work with essential oils, or they're chefs, or they're bakers, or they're in the industry of like, I know on a spiritual level how that's going to taste if I mix this herb and this seasoning together. And so that's their spiritual gift. They can already have this spiritual knowingness of how to combine things to make their magic, right? And so those ones aren't as common. It's just not as common of a trait. But the other three are pretty common out in the spiritual world, especially that clairsentience, that empath. I think so many of us were born with clairsentience, meaning that we knew who was feeling sad, we knew where to go, we knew how to feel into the situation and go from there. So that's your quick little Clair tutorial for today. And just know that today we are opening up enrollment for our Shamanic Reiki Practitioner Training. This is a 5.5-month training so that you can develop not only your spiritual gifts, but learn how to connect with your spirit guides, your power animals, basically your spirit team, and develop relationships with them so that you can not only do the personal healing yourself, but learning how to do shamanic techniques for your clients as well. So that's if you come like there, I've got some scheduled, the chakra Reiki readings, that's going to be using shamanic techniques. So come to those are on the events calendar coming up. And then we also, we teach things, how to do chakra spinning, how to do intrusive object removal, how to tune in to that level and have your power animals and your guides assist you in your sessions. So if any of that sounds like, oh, that sounds phenomenal, I really want to get in, I will drop the link below. Check it out. It's an application only process, and we will be starting hopefully May 23rd. So if that is of interest to you, feel free to message me. Let me know what your thoughts are, and hopefully see you soon. Take care, everyone.